Hi, and welcome to Tower Talks by ION. I'm your host, Dr. Ty Richardson, and I'm joined by my favorite co-host, Kelly DesRoches. As we turn the corner from summer to fall, we're celebrating leadership that not only serves with strategy, but with heart. Today, we spotlight a change maker who's leading one of Broward County's most impactful organizations.
Today, we're honored to welcome Kathleen Cannon, a leader who embodies what it means to serve with vision and purpose. As CEO of United Way of Broward County, she's at the forefront of the region's most critical issues, from housing and healthcare to education and equity. Kathleen, the United Way has such a broad reach. How do you stay focused on priorities while managing so many community needs?
Oh, well, one, thanks for having me today. I'm super happy to be here and be talking to you guys. So the beauty of United Way is we really look at the entire community, right? So we look at Broward County, we layer human service and business strategy over the most pressing areas. And we are large and we're impactful and we have so many partners that we can tackle multiple issues at the same time. So we don't just work on homeless and then stop doing that and then work on the opioid crisis or our seniors. We really can do it all. I have pillars at United Way. We have health, financial prosperity, education, and kind of disaster community resiliency. And we have massive initiatives under all of those. So we're really lucky that we can have multiple strategies. We definitely have a lot of spinning plates at the same time, but we have experts working in different areas on those fields. And oh my gosh, I love the work so much. I'm a social worker by trade. So for me, this is now being a macro social worker, working on the entire community and really trying to longitudinally fix some big social issues. So we don't just do like one-offs. We really try to put a long-standing effort and initiative into place to really transform. And you know how fabulous Broward County is and all the great work. And we with others want to just build the most thriving community. And United Way, we're committed to every resident here.
Now that, just hearing you say that, you hear the heart, right?
Oh.
You hear the, not just strategy, but heart. This means something to you. You mentioned pressing issues. So pressing issues. So what are some of those pressing issues as we head into the fall that you have to deal with?
So homelessness is on the rise. And we've got amazing providers, amazing shelters, some transitional housing, but homelessness is on the rise. And one of the reasons it's on the rise is because affordable housing is not affordable anymore. So we have folks in all stratospheres of our economy here, but having great difficulty being able to afford rent or mortgage or an increase in rent. So some more folks are kind of falling into homelessness. So housing stock helps all avenues of housing and homelessness. So we have a huge effort working right now on housing affordability. We've done almost $10 million of investments in projects that are going up, amazing developments that are going to be it's really for the workforce. Okay. So yes, some of it's workforce housing, some of it's low income housing, some of it folks will pay 30% of their income, but the rents will be affordable so that folks then at the end of a paycheck have some money left over to spend in our amazing community to join the Tower Club and to come here. So we work on the whole housing spectrum from homelessness to affordability. We want to make sure that folks that struggle here, maybe the most vulnerable, have the resources and experts working on them, but we want to work on the middle class too, to make sure all aspects of our community are supported and that everybody has opportunities. So housing, affordability and homelessness is a real pressing issue now that we're working on. And we just spearheaded and reignited the Broward Business Council on Homelessness. So it's business leaders that are joining forces with us to really solve homelessness. We want to bring everybody to the table. So it's not just nonprofit. We want public-private partnerships. We want everyone to be engaged and involved because this can be solved, but it will take the community together, really coming up with resources and strategies to do this. And we're excited because the business community is really investing and they see it's an economic imperative, right? So if we help our folks here in Broward, whether it's homeless or folks with affordability or workforce or new skills, everybody does better because when you help the most vulnerable here, businesses do better. There's less crime. Kids are ready to learn in schools. So it's really a positive economic cycle when we help each other because, again, People will go buy the car for the first time. They'll open a bank account. They'll join the Tower Club. Yes. So it really is important that we can invest and help all residents, because again, it only makes for a better Broward.
Right. Yeah. I agree. What are the biggest challenges facing Broward families right now, and how is United Way responding?
So there are some struggles for sure. We publish a report, and we've been doing it about 10 years now. And we publish it for the whole state. And the name of the report is ALICE. And what ALICE means is Asset Limited Income Constrained Employed. It literally means that people are working super hard, doing all the right things, but they cannot get ahead no matter what they do. And we wanted to publish. We use data and research and analytics behind all of our initiatives and efforts. We wanted to publicize this and publish to show, especially our legislators, that look, just because somebody has a job, they still can't get ahead, that there are policies in place that are not allowing people to rise. So the ALICE report and what we call like ALICE families, folks that are struggling, but again, working and who really run our economy, right? Because they're teachers, they're nurses' aides, they're serving us our food and our wait staff. They're people that are integral to a positive economy, but they can't get ahead after a paycheck. So this ALICE report, we publish this, and then we do initiatives surrounding it. So really trying to identify new avenues, new skills, new ways for people to be able to get ahead so that they don't struggle from paycheck to paycheck. Like when you see a homeless person, you know a series of events have taken place, right? You know something transpired here and that they need help. Our ALICE families, we don't know that they need help. We don't know that they're struggling, but they have this like financial cinder block that sits on them. So we want to make sure that we're supporting those folks and making sure that then, again, they've got opportunities. So that's where housing affordability comes in. That's where paying 30% of your income for rent. That's where new skills, financial assistance. Sometimes people just need last security to get into a place, and they're good to go from there. So we want to be able to prevent anyone from becoming homeless, because once you're homeless, it's a whole lot harder, to get rehoused. So we have everything from intervention to prevention to treatment, and we close the loop on all of that and just making sure that we're following up with all families and all people. And so we work hard, and again, just being a social worker, I think it's the avenue of why United Way can really dive in. We get to the underlying root causes of things. We put initiatives into place. We pull in business partners and public-private partnerships and our legislators and our commissioners. We really bring everybody to the table so that everybody's got skin in the game. And everybody has a niche of what they're going to do to help solve the issues. So we feel a lot of times we're a great convener about social services and ways that we can really solve and we can get everyone to the table to really work together. So it's important.
You talk about that segment of society that the term suffering silently comes to mind, because you don't know that they're going through all of that stuff.
It's so true.
As somebody who sits on the housing authority for the city of Fort Lauderdale as a commissioner, the theme of affordable housing comes up all the time. And, the work that you guys are doing, who's involved and who would you like to see get involved?
Yeah, so the housing authorities, thank you so much for being on the board there, because the housing authorities are vital to our communities and do such a good job. So housing authorities, we want Section 8 people, we want commissioners from every city, we want the League of Cities, we want the Association of City Managers, we want business leaders, and then we want folks who suffer with, or who don't have an affordable option for themselves to be able to speak up. We can tell their story. We have homeless folks that are willing to tell their story. So if we can paint that picture of kind of what happened, and we can talk about, it's cheaper for us as a community to make sure people are housed safely and affordably than to let them go onto the streets. So we call it like the knights table, right? All right, we say all the time, all right, we need the school board needs to be present, commissioners need to be present, business leaders, advocates, board members, volunteers, people who were formerly served. We try to bring every voice to the table so that we're not missing an important aspect impact. And sometimes it's about changing policies. So we go to Tallahassee often and to DC to really advocate for some policy changes where we can really make a big impact and an effort on something. We just got an earmark for veteran housing. So we own an apartment building in Hollywood. We own an apartment building in Pompano. Then we have multiple sites everywhere, but we really want to try to solve veteran homelessness, make sure that every veteran has a place to live.
So this is a call to action for all of you guys who want to be knights. Come see Kathleen.
Yes,
okay?
We're looking for knights to sit around the night table. Yes, and we need all that strategy. We need new ways of thinking about things. A few years ago with homelessness, we decided we're going to do the housing first model because it doesn't always work putting somebody into shelter, then a little bit of transitional care and this. Sometimes you just have to get a little roof, a little tiny apartment over somebody's head, get them in there, provide them with services because they need services. And then they don't need you anymore. Yeah. So we try to a lot of initiatives and a lot of social issues, how we try to solve them, we try to do it much differently. We're trying to recreate ways to really solve, and again, to put long-standing effort into place. So sometimes we're a disruptor, but it's positive. You can't change something if you don't transform and disrupt. So
right.
Yeah.
Try new things.
Yes, always.
Because if it's not working, you got to figure something else out. So.
And then like folks like you, right? You're interested in our community. You're interested in all residents, and you want people to come to this amazing Tower Club, and you want to see our community thrive. And you guys just putting out the word and the message, having this conversation with us at United Way is so important. So it really takes a lot of voices. So thank you.
Of course.
Yeah.
One of my other questions that I had for you, as a woman in leadership, what legacy are you hoping to leave through your work?
Oh.
Do you love that one?
So yeah. And again, I'm a social worker, but I always remind people of this, and this might be one of the legacies. So we're a nonprofit, but being a nonprofit is a tax status. It's not a paradigm for running a business. And I'm constantly telling that to all businesses because I run United Way as a business. Now, our product is changing lives for better forever. And we want to do that product better than anybody does it. And we put a lot of sweat, equity, resources, talent, strategy into making sure that we're serving everyone in this community. And we take it seriously. But we also run a business with heart and soul too, right? So we want to take care of the people who work at United Way. I have about 100 staff. We want to make sure we take care of them and their families, because then they can only do a better job taking care of the community and really wanting to dig in and be. We have a really good culture at United Way. So I think some of my legacy is trying to teach folks, being a nonprofit, you have to run a sound business. You have to have talent. You have to have marketing. You have to spend money to make the impact that you're making. A lot of times people want to know, what's the overhead? like, oh my gosh, I'm overhead, right? I'm talent. Like, overhead is important at an organization. Now, you shouldn't have, shouldn't be overabundance of overhead, but to make a true large standing impact, you have to have talented people on. So part of my legacy is really teaching folks that nonprofit is a business. It's just a tax status, being a nonprofit, and the more talent that you have, the bigger impact that you're going to make. And we measure everything we do and everything that we fund. You have to know that it's making a difference. Sometimes things look good, feel good, everybody's applauding, but is it making a real big difference? So I think that's part of my legacy, really having business acumen in the nonprofit field. Yeah.
In the tech world, we used to call those vanity metrics, but it just looks good, but it didn't really measure impact, right?
Exactly.
And I love that you start in-house, right? Because if you can't show and demonstrate that the employees of United Way and their families are taken care of, how can we go on the street and take care of other people?
For sure. So,
great message.
For sure. Yeah, really do.
So you're part of the Tower Club community.
I know.
And we're so honored. Tell me your favorite, part of that.
So first of all, all right, so when I came in today to have the conversation with you guys, how many people did you see me run into that I know or I haven't seen in a while and would catch up? I literally did some public policy business outside with Brenda.
That's double dipping,
I know. I'm like, oh my gosh, Brenda's sitting right here. So that's what it is. It is such a cross-section of everybody in our community that no matter what time you come or where, you're going to run into somebody, or you're going to run into somebody that you wanted to meet, and then one of you guys can make the introduction. You guys are so good at connecting the dots. Even the front desk, when I come in, she's like, oh, you know who's here? And they'll tell me who's here. You guys do such an amazing job, like bringing folks together where people can socialize with each other, but you can do business with each other. You make new networks. You introduced me to this one, Ty, you've introduced me to that one. And that makes such a big difference, because the more you have in the circle of wanting to make change and a difference, the more, the more ripple effect you make, and the grander that we can do, and we can, increase our footprint by all the folks that really want to get involved and engaged. So to me, this is the place to do business, to meet people, to have fun, have great food, great drinks. You can't beat the view for sure at all. And it's a real connector. Yeah. So I want to.
That's what I wanted. I wanted to make this the hub of Broward.
It is absolutely the hub. That is a good word for it. It is like the connector. It's like the hub and spoke right here. And you walk out knowing somebody new, or saying, oh my gosh, I'm going to follow up with you. I feel like there's just this. It's a culture here, right, of kind of business acumen and a lot of business leaders and folks, but that people want to make change too, and they want to meet each other and create new opportunities. So, yeah.
To that impact.
It's so much impact here. Yeah.
Well, Kathleen, you have been absolutely amazing, as always. Thank you for joining us.
So nice you asked me to come here. Thank you.
Of course.
Yeah.
This is important. And I think the message and what you're doing and the impact you want to make, I think that the community needs to hear it. So we're honored to be able to put this out, and so people learn a little bit more about what United Way is doing. And again, if you want to be a knight, come see Kathleen.
Get involved. We're always looking for new folks to get engaged and involved. So thank you.
So as we head into fall, we are honored to look at a different set of cocktails and a different set of menus. As always, we always end these segments a little bit hungry. And so we are going to turn it over to our member experience director, Mr. Roman Foster, to show us what's on the menu for fall.
All right, welcome to August. Here in the club, we are excited about all things fall, all things cozy that are coming around the corner. I'm ready to fill this place with pumpkins and gourds, oranges, reds, browns. We don't have fall outside here in Florida, so we bring it to the club to you. So that brings me here with our executive chef, Danny Mankey, and his signature dish for August.
All right, so here we have a chocolate bread pudding with some vanilla chantilly cream and some fresh raspberries. Very much indicative of coming onto that cold weather, something a little bit more hearty to kind of warm our soul and our spirits.
You have me a chocolate, so say less. No, from what I understand, bread pudding itself, it comes from fairly humble, frugal beginnings when people had leftover bread, the need to do something with it. This came about. So maybe you could speak a little bit to how something so simple becomes something so extraordinary.
I mean, step one in bread pudding is stale bread, and then it's soaked with a custard and baked. To me, the difference between simple and fine it's a thin line. You know what I mean?
Something very organic with the least ingredients could be just as amazing as
some of the most simple and rustic dishes are the best things to eat, because when we cook with from our hearts and with love, and that's where a dish like this comes from for me.
I love that. So another question. So some of my favorite bread puddings, they have that crisp outside, but that almost gooey, soft center. Is there a trick to that? Is that something you shoot for?
No, it's definitely something you shoot for. I think when you eat this bread pudding, you're going to notice that the top of it has sort of a crisp texture, and then just a very velvety inside, a very soft, delicate custardy inside, and that's what we go for. So,
may I?
Absolutely, please do.
You're spot on. I'm tasting fall. No. Remember, it's definitely come check out the bread pudding. It's a 10 out of 10, over the top. We look forward to seeing you here in the clubhouse soon. Now that we have heard from Chef Danny and our cooking in the kitchen for August, I am here with our general manager, Dee, for our signature August drink.
Excellent. So here we have a strawberry margarita. Nice, refreshing, what a great way to close the summer with. So this August future drink, you can order it as it is, or you can also add a shot of Grand Marnier to make it a little fancier. Can't wait to start serving those.
So tell me one more time, what goes into a strawberry margarita?
So fresh strawberry, a little bit of strawberry puree, tequila, and a fresh homemade sour mix.
Okay.
And then you can order with salt or without it. And then you have the option of adding a little shot of Grand Marnier if you'd like.
May I try?
Please.
What is your preference? I know with margaritas you can go salt rim, no rim. I've seen sugar rim. Depends on the type?
Yes, I could go both ways. I prefer mine plain.
Folks, that is summer in a glass.
Yes.
No, very refreshing, very nice. So it's tangy versus sweet. It's a great mix of flavors. I've seen you around the club, not only with cocktails, but also encouraging certain wine pairings. You seem to have a knowledgeable background both in spirits and in wine. Could you tell us a little bit how that came about?
Well, my background is mostly food and beverage, then hotel, then clubs. But I was really passionate about cocktails. I can honestly say my favorite job I've ever had was a bartender. I had a lot of fun creating cocktails, hanging out with my customers. So there were, definitely a lot of good memories. And I've done our introductory level of, quartermaster sommelier course. So I know a little bit about wine, and I enjoy pairing them with food and drinking on its own.
So I hope you all come into the club this August. We will be having our seasonal Wines by Sophie pairing dinner with boutique wineries showcased. We'll have a wine tasting experience. We'll be having our cocktails and connections where you can come in and try several different cocktails and learn how to make them yourselves. Another thing that we are excited about in August is our Pulse of Policy Industry Night. So save the date, Thursday, August 14th. Industry Night, the Pulse of Policy. It's going to be a civic social. We will have several mayors in the house, not only Fort Lauderdale City, but the greater Fort Lauderdale area. Here, just to meet and greet, it's the perfect place to get to know your local politicians, have exclusive conversations, and really attempt to see who in the area is making a difference and how.
Yeah, great. I'm excited for all of those events.
Fantastic.